Summer starts early here in Florida, which means we get more beach time, more sunshine, and more time to enjoy refreshing, sweet, and juicy fresh from Florida watermelon. The best part of summer is already here. Find locally grown Florida watermelon where you shop. Just look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo or ask for it by name. Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
Blog Talk Radio.
I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich, and this is the Metal Hammer of Doom. This, of course, is July. Shit, we forgot about months. Every week we're bringing you an album that was released earlier this year that we didn't get to because, frankly, I thought there were other albums that were more important. Tonight is no different. We're bringing you a album, maybe. I'm not promising anything at this point. We may or may not be bringing you Cooper's Choice. Cooper was supposed to and will eventually sit in the big boy chair and take over tonight's podcast host duties while I sit my ass down in the panel seat alongside Jesse Starcher if he ever calls in. I mean, I'll just be upfront with you. We dropped the ball on this show. I set it up. It's promoted. Music was not uploaded. So we're working on that. We are absolutely working on that. When we have music, we'll bring Cooper on, and we'll get going with Death Angel, The Evil Divide, that was released on May 27th, earlier this year. While we're waiting for music, and we're waiting for these gentlemen to get their act together, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little news just for a few minutes. This is actually kind of depressing. Megadeth is the mixer. Megadeth is actually on tour with Amon Amarth and Suicidal Tendencies. Suicidal Tendencies actually have an album coming out later this year called World Gone Mad. Comes out September 30th, same week as Epica, The Holograph Principle, which we'll be reviewing, and Opeth, Sorceress, which we'll be reviewing under duress. Well, I'll be at least. I'm sure Cooper will love it. Haven't officially added Opeth to the calendar yet because I'm trying to not. But as I was saying, Megadeth, Amon Amarth, and Suicidal Tendencies are all going on tour together, and because I'm a good dude. Actually, they're also playing with Metal Church and Havoc. It's a hell of a show. They are coming to Wyoming, Vegas, Seattle, Oregon, San Jose, California, Colorado, St. Paul, Minnesota, Hoffman Estates, Illinois, Moline, Illinois, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Detroit, Michigan, Detroit Rock City, baby, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Worcester, Massachusetts, Unkinsville, Connecticut, Newark, New Jersey, and Camden, New Jersey. So somewhere out there, Robert Cooper just slit his wrist. Because that's a hell of a show with some of his favorite bands on it, and it's coming nowhere near North Carolina. Nowhere. It's also coming nowhere near Florida, but I'm not entirely sure I would have made that show. Some other touring news. Meshuggah and High on Fire are coming around. That sounds like a fun show. Took my wife, famously, I've told this story, took my wife to go see Ministry, and Meshuggah opened up for him and scared the shit out of her. That's what happened there. Well, in case she wants to go back and relive that experience, they'll be playing at the House of Blues in Orlando on October 10th. Unfortunately, High on Fire will not be with them. They got some dates here in Georgia, Missouri, Tennessee, Mexico, with, again, no High on Fire, though. Texas. I'm wondering now, are they going to be in North Carolina? No North Carolina here either. Or Ohio, for that matter, in case Jesse Starcher ever wanted to go see these folks. So if you're into the old Meshuggah and High on Fire, which High on Fire I absolutely love. I think High on Fire is great. Meshuggah's great too. Though I don't know if I'm going to make it to this one. Definitely go check out that show. All right. Lastly, and again, this one's for ye old Robert Cooper. Trivium have announced a North American tour with Sabaton and Huntress. We've actually reviewed some Sabaton on this show. We will be reviewing some Sabaton later in the year. Sabaton's got an album coming out, I believe, August 19th, The Last Stand. So we'll be reviewing that album. They are on tour with Trivium. Let's see where they're going to be. It's a pretty lengthy tour, as it looks. They're going to be here in Tampa at the State Theater. They'll also be in Fort Lauderdale, and they'll be in Orlando at the House of Blues. But for those of you who do not live in Florida, they'll be in Charleston, made in Carolina, South Carolina. They'll be in Binghamton, New York, Worcester, Massachusetts. They'll be at the old Irving Plaza. Oh, boy, have I got stories from Irving Plaza from when I lived in New York. Pittsburgh, Tulsa, Houston, Dallas, Louisville. You can go to the Louder Than Life Festival and go hang out afterwards with Jim Cornette, and he'll tell you a story or two about how wrestling is dead. Minneapolis, Omaha, Salt Lake City, San Bernardino, that's the Knot Fest, for those of you Slipknot fans out there. Tempe, Albuquerque, Denver, Little Rock, Atlanta, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Columbus. All right, I'm going to take this opportunity right now to take a breath and bring on my co-hosts, and they'll hopefully update me with the music scene. First, the man who's supposed to take the big chair tonight, Mr. Robert Cooper. How do you do, sir?
So speaking of shit we forgot, how about that music? On the bright side, I found a place to get a hold of the music. It is now downloaded, and I will start uploading it. Love it. Yeah, I'm really sad that none of these awesome fucking bands that I want to see so badly are not sniffing anywhere within,
it's like North Carolina doesn't even exist on the map.
No, it's like the whole South doesn't exist for some of these. Like the Megadeth tour, it's just up north and the West. That's how a lot of tours are.
I don't understand that. I honestly, I guess they have to look at where they're getting the most interest, and they book their tours around that. But if it makes you feel any better, if you want to go on the 70,000 tons of metal cruise next year, which I highly recommend, by the way. I highly recommend going on any cruise. But this one in particular, 70,000 tons of metal. It's on my bucket list. I told my wife about it. If she ever deigns to take off a day, a day of work in January or February, this one's being headed up by Anthrax, Death Angel, Nile, Suffocation, Orphan Land, Karma, Amorphous, and more. And I believe it's in February. All right. Let me go ahead and bring on my good buddy, the third chair, the host of the Source Material podcast, Mr. Jesse Starcher, how do you do, sir?
Doing very fine, very fine. First off, I want to ask you a real quick question, Mark. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen and Coop, you may have seen this also, but have you guys seen how you can pay to have like an episode transcribed?
Yeah.
From Blog Talk Radio? Okay. I honestly think that we need to take up a pool and have the Secret Life of Pets second half where you try to give Robert Winfrey an aneurysm completely transcribed, because that was some epic shit. I just got to hear that today, and it was a building upon level upon level upon level of Robert Winfrey almost advocating murder on somebody. And probably some of the greatest podcasting I'd heard in a while. Fun stuff.
Let me fill in while so they understand. So we reviewed the movie, and the third part of our movie reviews is always the Rotten Tomato reviews. And I generally will read ones that I think Robert Winfrey will react to in one way, shape, or form. That's the whole gag, is to annoy Robert with. It started off with whatever. It came very naturally because I think I was trying to figure out what other people thought of a certain movie, and the reviews were so bad. Not like this movie is terrible, but it was they don't know how to do their jobs as reviewers. And it has nothing to do with whether or not I liked the movie or not. It has to do with if you're reviewing something, you should be reviewing craft, not necessarily just giving your opinion. I like the movie. I don't like the movie. You're trying to judge the level of professionalism that was invested in this particular piece of art. And so many of and this might have actually started with the Batman v Superman, because so many of them were just like, this movie was no fun. I'm like, that's not legitimate criticism. That's not even. How do you get paid to write stuff like that? And so it came out of that, and so that became an ongoing gimmick ever since then, if I remember the movie correctly. We came across one for The Secret Life of Pets, where the reviewer said something that was so biased, and it was so opinionated, and it was so ridiculous and then we had to dig up his other reviews because we wanted to see what else he didn't like. And it gave Robert, and it succeeded in giving Robert Winfrey an ad.
Now let's hold the phone here, because you had the opportunity to stop Mark Radulich. You could have stopped at any time, but you continued to give him more ammunition, and it was like he wanted to move on, but you were like, no, he gave this movie a 0, and I could just hear Robert Winfrey's like microphone catching fire from the absolute rage that he was about to be induced. It was great stuff, though.
You can poke a badger with a stick, and the badger will come after you. But what is the internet for if not poking badgers virtually and suffering their punishment?
That's right. That is right.
All right, so real quick, Disturbed is on tour with Chevelle and Nothing More. Does anyone care about that?
I'm a big Disturbed fan, but I don't know about Chevelle, and I have no idea what Nothing More is.
Suicide Silence is on tour with Whitechapel. August Burns' Red Era, Silent Planet, and Make Them Suffer are on tour. Gore's on tour. Morbid Angel and Autopsy are part of the Maryland Death Fest. Is there anything else good here? Epica's on tour, or will be on tour, with
nice.
Flesh God Apocalypse. And that's it for that. Have any of you guys seen the Baby Metal Judas Priest mashup? They actually performed together.
No.
Oh.
Not me.
I'll go ahead and find that on my Facebook page, and I'll repost it, and I'll tag you guys. For those of you out there listening, if you haven't seen Rob Halford joining Baby Metal to perform Breaking the Law and Painkiller, oh boy, it's fantastic. I was blasting in the house earlier.
That's probably how he got so many hits.
It could have been.
You want to fill people in on that there, Coop?
Yeah, somehow, because one of my favorite things to do is to, check and see over the weeks, because Blog Talk are a bunch of assholes, and they don't tell us how many total listens our podcasts get anymore. So instead, I'm like, well, let's see what the most popular podcast this week is. I kind of check up and see, okay, who's listening to what podcast. I can't see who, but of course. For example, the Metal Hammer of Doom is the most popular podcast on this network in terms of overall listens between multiple episodes. Yay, us. I go and look, and I'm like, holy shit. How many people downloaded the fucking Baby Metal podcast, the second one, Metal Resistance, featuring the freezing Jason Teasley and his love of Japanese schoolgirls.
The freezing Jason Teasley.
Yes. Somehow I got 250 listens in a week. A 3,000% upgrade from last week. And that's actually been one of our more steady podcasts. It's gotten at least about 10 listens a week. So for it to get 250, we must have done something right. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like that Nightwish podcast, the Death podcast I did, like those, and Black Sabbath too. Those always seem to get like 5 to 10 listens a week. And Awesome Lot. Yay for Awesome Lot.
Yay.
Let me take this opportunity to play 1,000 dances. No, I'm just kidding. No, let me thank people who do listen to the show weekly, or if you've gone back and listened to our older shows. I really appreciate it. We this is sort of hobby podcasting. We do it for fun. It gives me the opportunity to talk a little music with some like-minded people that don't make me want to drive my car off the road on an ongoing basis. So,
I'm here for you, Mark. We're here for you.
And that's it. It'd be fun if nobody listened. It would still be fun to do. But I do appreciate the fact that there are 1,000,001 podcasts out there that you could be listening to on music alone, and for some reason you choose this one.
Some reason.
For some reason. It must be the salty banter. Some quick album additions here. As I said, I'm going to go backwards here from the calendar. We got a new Dark Tranquility coming out in November 4th, along with the new Vader, the Empire. If that's not Star Wars related, I don't know what is. The same day that Testament, which we'll be reviewing on the show, puts out the Brotherhood of the Snake, there's a new Dope coming out. And now I don't know what to do, because I love me some Dope. And I think I want to talk about it, but I don't know if there's going to be time between October and November to sneak a little Dope onto the show. What do you think, Mr. Cooper?
I'll have to see, because I know sometime at the end of the year we're supposed to get a new Ackerkalk album, and I have been excited for that for years.
Well, I know in October there's a new Metallica coming out. That's already on the calendar, and it just says unnamed Metallica album. Yeah,
right. New Metallica album. How many? Next we're gonna get Stampede of the Disco Elephants.
Hey, there's a new Tigers of Pantang album coming out.
Dude, that might be awesome.
October 21st. Well, if you're really into it, we might have to sneak that one on the calendar. Okay, I joked around before about wanting to avoid at all costs having to review the new Opeth. Is that one you're gonna force on me? You're gonna twist my arm? Yes.
Yep. You're not gonna escape it. Actually, their last one, Pale Communion, was a big improvement over the one before that, which was Heritage. Heritage is them because the last two albums they've pretty much shed all their death metal roots. I mean, Michael Ackerfeld left Bloodbath because he said, "I don't care about death metal anymore," which good on him. So he no longer really does death metal in Opeth. So Heritage really just kind of felt like them trying a little too hard to be a 70s like psychedelic prog rock band. But Pale Communion they did a very good job of kind of being, I mean, they're mostly almost like a prog rock with a little bit of psychedelia in it. But there was enough metal in there for me to justify it being, I guess, on this podcast. I'm excited. Even though the album cover for it looks silly in a way. It's got that cool-looking peacock, and then you look at the other part, and I'm like, that's some shitty rendered CGI there, buddy. It's almost as, it's not quite the Dance of Death by Iron Maiden levels of shitty CG. That is one of the most god-fucking awful album covers I have ever seen.
All right.
Yeah, have y'all seen it before?
I have not.
It's the Grim Reaper standing in the middle of like a dance floor, and it looks like it's almost like a medieval European setting. But all of the people on the dance floor are CG, and they look like 2004 CG, including like some of them with like legs going like the opposite direction, like not even on the ground. The knee is like facing north instead of south, like the legs facing north.
That's messed up, man.
So there's a new Narnia coming out, too.
A new what?
There's a new Narnia album coming out.
Narnia?
Yeah, Jesse, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not, I swear to God, I mean, we talked before the show. We don't need to talk about it now. But in the vein of our previous conversation, I swear to God, I am asking this out of earnest and not picking on you in any way, shape, or form. Does your family go to church?
No, we do not. Doesn't mean we don't believe, but we do not go to church.
Okay. Well, I'm asking you because Narnia, which I'm sure you've never heard of, is a Christian neoclassical progressive power metal band.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, wait, Cooper, you've never heard of them either?
No. That's why I was like,
you guys have never heard of Narnia.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never heard of this guy. I don't think.
It was just a book series that I didn't read.
Half the fun of this show for me now is turning Jesse on to new things. like, oh, world has opened up. But Coop, you're down with the Metal Underground. I figured you would have known who Narnia was.
No, unfortunately, even the occasional band will slip through my giant hands.
They've been around from 1996 to 2010, and then they got back together in 2014. And they have a new album coming out, a self-titled album coming out the same week as the new Brujeria. Now Brujeria, look, that whole week, first of all, that week of releases could fill up a shit we forgot about month all by itself. Listen to some of what's coming out, okay? Heaven Shall Burn. You heard of these guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not me.
Jesse? Okay.
No.
Go listen to some Heaven Shall Burn when the show is over. This is like heavy, devastating music to destroy a city by. It is angry as shit. It is amazing. It is awesome. Cooper, am I leaving anything out here? Isn't Heaven Shall Burn one of the greatest things to come out of an angry, angry Germany?
You got like
World War II references notwithstanding. Oh boy. Yeah, they're actually a very fine German metal band. It's actually really rare that you'll find really heavy stuff out of Germany. They're typically known for thrash and power metal.
The Heaven Shall Burn beats the fuck out of anything coming out of America. I mean, and it takes a lot for me to say that. But, it does. If Heaven Shall Burn were a person, it would be Brock Lesnar on the juice.
No, he's on top of O.J. Simpson?
Yes. Another album coming out that month is Iron Fire, Among the Dead. I know that.
Hey, I love Iron Fire.
I know. I figured that would tweak your nipples a bit. One of the bands that I really, really like, I got into a couple of years ago through one of the, might have been Spotify, it might have been another music site that actually Pandora, now that I think about it. I was doing Pandora Radio, and this band came up, and I became like obsessed with them. They're sort of a horror metal band, Lordi, Lordi.
Okay. They're okay.
Why is everyone grunting? Suddenly everyone's turned into piglets. What's happening?
I've never heard of the guy, so I don't know.
I just think they're okay. They've never done much for me, but I'm up for it.
You gotta sort of appreciate the guy singing. If you don't, then the whole thing sort of doesn't work. But it's Jesse. It's very clean vocals. It's sort of high pitch. It's like an '80s style horror metal band.
Nice.
Yeah, give him a shot on. They're all over Spotify. Give some Lordy a shot. They've got a new album coming out. Monster Stereophonic, Theater Terror versus Demonarchy. So they're very gimmicky. I already talked about Narnia. So like just right there, Heaven Shall Burn, Iron Fire, Lordy, and Narnia are all bands that we could conceivably cover on this show, and there's just not enough time for it. Because the following week we've got Every Time I Die, which we need to get to. And then there's Epica and Opeth in the same week. And Suicidal Tendencies. Yeah, and then, like I said, Ackercock's supposed to come out with one at the end of the year. Into Eternity have been talking about coming out with one. I'm like, those are some of my favorite bands. I got to get to them. What's the
Darn it, Mark Radulich. What?
What's the first one you keep saying? I heard Into Eternity.
It's Ackercock. Akercocke.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even see it on the calendar.
They had a demo release earlier in the year, and I've heard that the album's pending for 2016, so it might not come out until next year. I don't know. But they're a really cool band. They mix their original stuff was really like a black metal with some progressive elements, but they're a really interesting band. Heck, look up their song Leviathan. It's great because they're playing in a parking garage with extremely attractive gothic strippers dancing for them.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I was like, you know what? That is the life. Getting to hang out with your upside down crosses and your satanic goblets. Yeah, they're big on the Satan too. Which I mean, cool.
Two things before we actually get to Death Angel here, and I turn the keys over to Mr. Winfrey, Mr. Cooper. Sorry.
Wrong, Robert.
Number one, I love you both equally. Number one,
thanks, Dad.
The new life of agony, a place where there's no more pain, which doesn't exist. I'm a sad panda. A place where there's no more pain is actually being pushed off till 2017. So we're unfortunately not going to get to it this year. This kind of depresses me, but that's all right. There's new Body Count going on, so fuck that. Whatever, man. As long as Body Count keeps putting out new albums, I'll be okay.
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna turn the mic over here to Mr. Jesse Starcher for just a moment here because I want to hear his 100,000 word 10-page report on Sepultura Roots. You may come to the front of the classroom, sir, and read your report.
Great. Well, okay, we'll keep this short. Sunday I had the opportunity to come down here into my dungeon, the Dungeon of Starchitude, and sit down and make some notes for my upcoming DC versus Marvel podcast. So I thought, well, what the hell is I got a homework assignment I can do at the same time and knock two birds out with one stone, and I listened to Sepultura's Roots, and I will tell you this much, okay? It is a decent album. They are definitely from Brazil. As in, there is some tribal, like I said, I had to turn it. Well, I finished the album, but there were points where I wanted to get up and take my pants off and pierce my lip and run around the house and singing Rata Mahata Mahatata, and it was very. I could see where you guys were drawing the parallels to what we were talking about last week with Lacuna Coil. I could see a good bit of that. Great album. you said that's one of the best out of their catalog, and I can agree. It's decent. There's when I listen to a metal album, though, I want to listen to metal. Okay. When it comes, there was enough of that to keep me smiling, but I mean, some of the tracks are just straight up them chanting and getting around and beating the drums. But if that's their thing, that's their thing. So I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a fun listen.
Okay.
At least it wasn't them standing around and beating their meat.
That is true. I really didn't want to hear any of that.
All right. Go ahead. Take a drag. Puff, pass to Mr. Cooper. Mr. Cooper, Death Angel, The Evil Divide. This is your show. I am no longer the host. I am passing it to you. Well, I'm passing it to Jesse, then passing it to you. You are now in control of this Operation Mind Crime. You just tell me when I basically just rattle stuff off. Have you noticed that? Just like I'll start to say something and I'm like, hey, another word follows that's completely unrelated to what we're talking about. I'll just say it anyway. I'm like an Eddie Izzard American version and not as funny that way. Robert Cooper, you're in charge. Go.
Ooh, I'm just like Charles. Okay. So, Death Angel. This was my pick. I've been loving Death Angel for a very, very long time. And by very, very, I mean, like, they were one of the, kind of the earlier thrash metal bands that I got into. I actually found their album Act 3 at a pawn shop for $1, and it went on from there. They actually started out really young. They started, I think, 16, 17 years old, and they were actually supposed to be on the Clash of the Titans tour, which was Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax. It was a big tour in the early 90s, and they were supposed to be the fourth act on that bill, and then they got into a car wreck, blah, 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 hurt the drummer, so Alice in Chains went instead. Interesting. Anywho, they came back in the early 2000s, and then came back again in the late 2000s, and they have been just fucking tearing it up. Relentless Retribution was a great album. What was their last one? The one with all the fucking wolves. Oh, never mind. They all have fucking wolves. Who am I kidding? I think it's The Dream Calls for Blood. It was the one that had the wolf with the skull on its head. Really, really good album. And then that brings us here today to their 2016 release that was released in May. So, shit, we forgot. The Evil Divide. And, it's a fucking scorcher. What do you think about Death Angel? Do you have any experience with them there, Jesse?
No, dude. This is my first foray into them, other than what I shared with you guys today earlier about how, I always mention about going on to Spotify, listening to some of the tracks out there, the new metal tracks. I had caught a track of theirs off of, I think, the Kick-Ass Metal playlist because it was off of a previous album, and I immediately added it, and every once in a while, I'll just go to that playlist and let it rock out. And so I noticed that these guys sounded familiar. And sure enough, I go back into that little playlist, and there they sit. So these were one of the guys that I was actually going to be checking out at some point. So I'm very glad we get the chance to talk about them tonight.
All right. Now, Jesse, you're nowhere near Cleveland, right? Cleveland's like on the other side of the state. Yep.
Yeah, I'm directly south, right on the border of West Virginia.
Okay. Because that's about as close as they're coming to you.
Oh, yeah.
And Robert Cooper, don't even think about it. You need to just move. Because the closest they're coming to you might be Norfolk, Virginia, or Atlanta, Georgia. In any case, they are on tour. They are supporting Slayer, motherfucking Slayer, and Anthrax. And they're going to be in Cleveland Rocks, Ohio, Detroit, Rock City, Michigan, Toronto, Ontario, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Pittsburgh, Chester, PA, Indianapolis, Indiana, Indianapolis. Yeah, no, Indiana, right? Yeah.
Indianapolis. Yeah, Indiana, you got it.
Thanks. Like, is that right? Is Indiana really a state?
Sometimes you say shit like that and it doesn't make sense. Trust me, I'm right there with you. It happens to me all the time. Yes, you are correct.
They are coming to the Hard Rock here in Orlando, Florida. But I've seen Slayer like 20 times, probably more. And I'd rather go spend my money on doing some other stuff. I've seen Anthrax a bunch of times too. Had I known Death Angel was this good, I might have actually opted to still see the show. But my wife doesn't want to go, and I got no one to go with. So they're going to be at the Horseshoe Casino Tunica in Tunica, I think that's Mississippi. I didn't mention it. That's the Fillmore in Miami, Virginia, Georgia, Dallas, Texas, Austin, Texas, Denver, Salt Lake City. Dude, fucking Robert Winfrey's going to get this show, and the metal Coop doesn't even get it. You live in the metal state, brother.
Yeah, fucking Utah's got me beat. You know why? It's because they closed 3 of the metal venues in my area in the past year because they're rezoning for make more fucking hotels and high rent places. Fuck you, Pat McCrory, cunt.
Ooh,
Missoula, Montana, Lethbridge, something. Okay, they're back in Canada for the next 3 shows. I'm not reading those. Reno, Nevada. Dude, Reno, Nevada's getting this, and you're not getting it. How much does that suck? And El Paso, Texas.
Yeah, nobody loves this anymore, and hell, they don't have anywhere to come anyways. So I mean, they've got the Fillmore, and I think just Fillmore really. They've got a few other small venues, but I can't fucking blame them.
Yeah, if you decide that you want to spend your 20s, your postgraduate 20s going to metal shows, you're gonna need to move. So,
yeah.
Go ahead. I wanted to just share that with you guys. But is there anything else before we jump into track 1?
Just wonder if you read any. If you did use some Death Angel, Mark Radulich.
Honestly, I haven't had too much experience with this band. They were better. I honestly had not heard much of them before we decided to do this on the show. And when I heard them, it was one of those, what have I been missing out on my whole life? I think I may have either thought it and meant to send it to you guys, or I actually did. Where has this band been all my life? Because this album's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I really agree. This album blows the fucking pants off of, most of the albums that we've listened to this year. Not all of them, but it's definitely up there.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, it's up there. I got some favorites, no surprise, but I'm a little biased. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hit us off with track number 1, Senor Radulich.
It's good.
It's just so awesome. It starts out just like a fucking house of fire. Jim Ross should commentate this album. That's how awesome it is.
Now, I hopped on the dark lyrics because you know how I like to follow along with the lyrics and stuff like that. Was there another band at one point called Death Angel back in the late 80s, early 90s? Because I noticed that we got lyrics for an album called The Ultraviolence from 1987, and then it goes up to 1990, and then we have no lyrics from anything between 1990 and 2004. So is this the same band or two?
Yeah.
It is. Okay.
Yeah, and actually, cool thing, The Ultraviolet Violence, the actual song, which is like a 11-minute instrumental, got used in a Hardee's commercial recently.
No.
I shit you not. First they do Pantera, then they do Death Angel.
I did not know that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
actually,
cool.
that's the Ultraviolets is one of my favorite songs to play on the store iPod as I go get carts.
Well, let me tell you, this first track, I know you haven't cued it my way, but just let me say that this is a great opener. And, I mean, I think this song really shows what these guys are about. So when I first popped this in today, because you guys know that today was the first time I actually listened to this album. I listened to this thing 5 times straight. And I'll tell you right now, this right here, this opener, The Moth, it sets the tone, and absolutely.
I agree. What do you think, Mark Radulich?
I really like the rhythm of the song. I like, one of my problems, as much as I love thrash metal, it tends to be a bit samey, as we've talked about in the last couple of shows. Give a song like Toxic, I think it's like Toxic Holocaust, Nuclear Assault. Some of these, I may be misremembering some of the band names, but some of these thrash metal bands that are out there, it's like it's all the same kind of thrash, and even Slayer changes it up slightly. Anthrax has a lot of fun with their music, and they are traditionally a thrash metal band, and Death Angel kind of reminds me of that Anthrax level of we can still play thrash, but change up the rhythm a bit.
Mm-hmm.
We change up the rhythm, there's some breakdowns in there. I mean, they don't, I wouldn't call this in any way, shape, or form a hardcore band, a hardcore album, but you can definitely get a little sense of those sort of hardcore breakdowns here and there throughout the music, which I like. And so it's interesting music to me. And I like the guy's voice. Lyrically, I thought this was a really stellar song. This song gets me pumped.
Agreed. Coop?
Okay, you don't have the studio up, do you?
I do not, sir.
Okay, we lost Coop. Coop's lost somewhere. I'm sure his phone went dead, or his car is gone into a tunnel, or he slipped convention.
Damn, a lot of cool shit happening down there in North Kakalaki.
Yeah, except for no music. So I'm gonna go ahead and since Captain Kirk has walked off the Enterprise for the night, I'm gonna go ahead and sit in the big chair where I belong. And we'll go ahead and listen to track 2 here. This is Cause for Alarm. Cooper, welcome back. we had a couple of ideas of where you might have went. We thought maybe you slipped dimensions, or your car went in a tunnel, or your phone died. Which one was it?
I actually am fucking Blog Talk Radio dropped me.
That never happens. Come on. Come on,
yeah,
man.
No. It is a pristine site. I know. It's this never, ever happens. And quite frankly, I am appalled that I am the first person of this podcast to ever get butt fucked by Blog Talk Radio.
Write a strongly worded letter.
It's clearly something you did, sir. They have engineers working all the time.
24 hours a day.
Those engineers happen to be chimpanzees, but they're engineers. They're highly educated chimps. Anyway, we were talking about how this doesn't suffer from some of the sameness that other thrash metal bands tend to suffer from. Lyrically, the stuff is very powerful, and I compared them a lot to Anthrax, actually, in terms of them not being slaves to a particular sound, but not drifting too far away from the anchor that is the thrash metal style.
I could definitely agree with that. There's a lot of that thrash metal aggression in here, but you also have some more slower samples. I think Lost, which should be the next song, had a really nice intro that wasn't slow, but it was toned down a little bit. It was subdued. It kind of broke up for I guess what some people would consider a thrash metal monotony, because some people don't like thrash metal because those people are wrong. Yeah, it did a really nice job of bringing in a different sound to kind of change it up a little bit. But this song here, what was the title of it? Cause for Alarm. Damn. I remember listening to that, like, that's The Moth. I'm like, it's a great song. Then I heard the Cause for Alarm. I'm like, fuck yeah. This is the bee's knees, man.
Jesse, you want to? I'm not supposed to be hosting. Coop, host.
Sorry, it just kind of happened, man. Jesse, what did you think of the song? Jesse?
All right, Jesse's still in the queue. What happened here? Did we lose Jesse?
Don't tell me they dropped Jesse. Jesse's like, bitch. Yeah, science.
He's still in the queue. I don't know where he went though. Maybe he slipped dimensions. Oh, we're getting a message from him. So let's see what the message says. I can hear everything and I'm talking.
Well,
okay.
We can't hear you there, Scooter. Live, everybody.
Why don't I go ahead and play another song here and let's see if we can get him back after the fact, okay? Yeah, he's dropped.
All right. Yeah, you got dropped like a game of catch when you're playing with me. All right, so here is track number 3. It's titled Lost.
Anybody hear me now? A cruel and falling
me say, I'm almost immediately. I think the reason why I'm responding positively to this album is that it reminds me of John Bush era Anthrax. Jesse Stark here. Did you ever listen to John Bush era Anthrax? Did you ever listen to the seminal change in the Anthrax lineup when John Bush took over Anthrax and they put out the Sound of White Noise?
You guys are going to be very surprised at the fact that the only Anthrax that I could probably remember listening to was the one they did where they teamed up with the rap group. And that's probably about it. Thank you. Yes, Public Enemy.
What they've done with the black fellas.
Anthrax wasn't in my wheelhouse, man. It just wasn't.
Why?
I don't know. That was one of them things where I had to have the opportunity to listen to a lot of it back then. And you know, when you're a kid, money's tight. You got to pick and choose. You didn't have the freedom of the internet. So, you know, as I grew older, some things I was able to go back and grab and listen to. Anthrax was not one of them. Those are ones that I haven't gone back and actually listened to much of their catalog at all. So John Bush, I don't know who this dude is. I don't know. I do not know. I know who's the guy with the crazy beard?
That's Scotty. And
thank you.
That's
okay.
their guitarist.
All right.
Can you while I can just bang my head into the wall.
Head desk.
Can you please educate this man really quick on Anthrax?
Oh, you poor thing, Jesse. Anyhow, okay, Anthrax started out in New York in the early 80s or 1983. I think it was 3. Album Fistful of Metal was the only one that actually had Neil Turbin on it. He was their original singer. He did an adequate job. They definitely didn't have the same style that they did for their most popular stuff. Their most popular albums, of course, were fronted by Joey Belladonna, which had that was Spreading the Disease, State of Euphoria, Among the Living. Ringing any bells? No?
No, me.
Oh, you poor thing. I mean, they had Caught in a Mosh, I'm the Law,
I do.
Indians.
Okay. Get your shot glasses ready. Wasn't Caught in a Mosh on Guitar Hero?
Uh-huh.
Because one of them was, if I remember correctly. I think Caught in a Mosh was.
The Caught in a Mosh was.
Okay, all right. So there's I get 1 point at least out of 100.
There you go. You got Caught in a Mosh. Yeah, but they were the fourth member of the Big Four of thrash metal. A lot of people, some people dispute them being in that list. But quite frankly, in terms of popularity, I would say they definitely belong with the other three. In the early 90s, Joey Belladonna left, and they brought in John Bush, and he had more of a whereas Joey Belladonna had a very much higher register. He was less of a thrash singer. I would say he's more of a traditional heavy metal singer. John Bush had a far more gravelly, smoky voice. Really fit them in well with the more grunge era stuff that they were about to embark into. They still had some thrash metal. Sound of White Noise is a very good album. So was the last one, We've Come For You All. Not a huge fan of Stomp 442 or Volume 8. But
nobody
those
likes
were good
Stomp
albums.
442. Literally nobody likes Stomp 442. It's one of the worst albums ever.
Hey, maybe that's what we'll do for our turkey this year.
Education and a belly full. Nice.
Yeah, it's but yeah, their stuff went to kind of more toward the groovier side. They have had I'm not going to say a lot of hip hop influence, but Scott Ian was a big hip hop fan. Actually, they went on tour with Public Enemy, and they would do Bring the Noise, which you've heard that.
Yes, sir.
And they actually do have a rap song called "I'm the Man," which is I'm so bad I should be detention. I'm the Man. That's one of my favorite songs by them.
Let me jump in
really
here.
Good one.
I just sent you Anthrology. When this podcast is over, that's your next homework assignment.
Assignment.
Every week he comes to this podcast, I give him a homework assignment. For whatever reason, the John Bush era stuff is not on Spotify. I don't know how else you listen to music, but find yourself a fucking copy of The Sound of White Noise. It's
got to be on YouTube. I'm sure it's got to be on YouTube. Usually you can. Usually.
The Sound of White Noise, in my opinion, reinvigorated Anthrax. It made them relevant in the early to mid 90s. And yeah, Stop 442 is the shit, but The Sound of White Noise is one of the best albums I've ever heard. It's fucking amazing.
I will give it a listen.
John Bush, he sang for Armored Saint, correct?
Yep.
Okay. He's really got a great voice. Anyway, so to have to back out of the Jesse lane here and drive over to Cooper Boulevard. Are you picking up what I'm putting down though in my comparison to the John Bush era Anthrax stuff?
Yeah, I would say that this song here definitely had some of that in there. Though I will say vocally, I think Marco Segura is still their vocalist, unless he's not, and I'm totally blanking at the moment. But actually, I would say his vocals are very reminiscent right now of the current era of Anthrax, with Joey Belladonna not going as high as he used to because, well, he's a little bit older than he used to be. Like For All Kings kind of reminded me of that, but still awesome song, awesome band. Love Anthrax too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any final thoughts you have, Mark?
Yeah. Going to see if the Sound of White Noise full album is actually on YouTube, and if it is, I'm linking it to Jesse.
Nerd.
I can't let this go. All right, let's go ahead and move on to track 4. This is Father of Lies. Metal trivia here, metal history, not a tremendous amount, but before moshing became the term du jour, did you know that moshing was referred to slam dancing? And the reason why it was slam dancing was because people used to fucking dance, okay? This was before it became tackle your buddy. People used to just dance. I know I've talked about this before. People used to just dance very aggressively, but they would, but it would be to like punk rock. And as we all know, punk rock gave way to thrash.
Uh-huh.
And I bring that up because Father of Lies is a really, really good example of danceable, slam dance, thrash music. That had a great beat to it. I could definitely see the old traditional slam dance sort of movement on the hardwood floor at the old CBGBs kind of a thing. That was my connection to that song. I thought it was really good, and I felt that through a lot of this album actually. Was like, wow, this takes me back. This took me in the Wayback Machine to the years before metal got popular among the meatheads, when it was just skinny guys in leather jackets slam dancing and not trying to hurt one another.
Well, I can tell you that there are very few parts in this particular album where, if I was at a concert with these dudes playing, I mean, the horns are up, and I mean, my head. This is head banging music. That is an absolute truth that you're just, you're banging your head to this stuff. Now, as for me, dancing, I call it, I don't know if you'd call that slam dance or not. You'd call it Please Stop. But, I mean, but this particular song is probably, it's in competition for the top song off of this album. It's fast-paced, kick your ass, and the lyrics are, kind of like a love letter to some type of faulty leader. And it's you'll see a common theme throughout a lot of these songs, and maybe it's thrash in general. It's either there's either a little bit of paranoia that's mixed in. There's the guy or them that are out there to get you, and then you've got the thrash metalists, which are throwing up their middle fingers and saying "fuck the man," and you see that in a couple songs here, and I think it kind of comes out a lot in this one. Coop.
I agree. Yeah, there's definitely some paranoia involved, and actually, looking through the lyrics of this kind of reminded me of maybe the more hate-breedy stuff. Those lyrics that kind of almost are like talking to you in a way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I kind of like I say hate-breed exact. It's like, man, it's pretty much hate-breed. Like, kind of a message, more like don't fuck with me or my friends or whatever. I can dig that. At least it's, if Death Angel started saying something like middle fingers in the air because I got him, I might have some problems. But otherwise, yeah, this song's fucking killer. Again, like every song of this album rips.
It does.
It's like my pants at work.
Oh man, I got a funny story about that. I once ripped my pants at the arcade while I was trying to fix a Hoop Fever game. Those games where you shoot the baskets. All right. So I had to give the guy working with me $10 to go down to Stephen Barry's and buy me another pair of pants, because there's no way I was going to be able to get out of this thing without half my ass showing. And the kids in the arcade would not have well, they probably wouldn't have come back. At least their parents probably wouldn't have let them come back.
Yeah. See, I didn't rip I put a hole in my pants. There was it was starting to tear along the fabric because I've only been wearing 2 pairs of shorts for the past year at work. I just wash them a lot.
Tends to wear it down just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like $10 Walmart shorts, so hey.
Yeah.
And then I went and bought all everything but shirts, like socks and the pants and that. I was like, Jesus, that's $60. What the hell?
Why do people have to clothe themselves? Damn it.
Why has everything got to be? What?
Splitting your pants is the worst because, if it happens right, first of all, it sounds like there was an explosion in your ass.
Well, that's how most things sound anyway with me.
It's, it always, first of all, it always sounds like you farted or something blew up in your ass. Or, it's never It's never a quiet sound or a defied sound. It's never, just a zoo. It's not. It's always just gonna, and like, oh Jesus, and it's always like, it always attracts a crowd. Like,
oh, dude.
It's like like suddenly a fucking giraffe showed up. Like, whoa, everyone look at the giraffe. Like, oh, some dude split his pants.
Giraffe doesn't show up.
Always got to pick it up. Like, did you split your pants? And then, and then you got to do the shirt thing. You got to pull it over your ass, and then, you look, on it. Great.
Yeah. Or the worst thing actually is when you don't know that you split your pants. Like, there is no sound.
Oh.
So you're just walking around, and you're like, pretty breezy.
Yeah, so my fly down? No, my fly is fine. Why is there air coming and hitting my ass cheeks? I don't understand this.
Who turned on the AC? Oh, it was me. All right. So let us, before we meander too much, considering, it took us a while to get here. Let's go on to track number 5 off of The Evil Divide. It is titled Hell to Pay.
Real quick, John Bush's voice is a lot deeper. It still reminds me of that. It still reminds me of that era Anthrax, but I just like people listening to like, that sounds nothing like John Bush. No, it sounds more like the dude from Testament. But my point is that the music itself reminds me of John Bush era Anthrax. His voice, however, much deeper. That's it. I just want to get that out there.
Yeah, because I wasn't really hearing John Bush in the vocals.
No.
No, because honestly, Marco Segata's pretty much sounded like this the whole time. I mean, he's gotten a little deeper and doesn't quite have the same kind of a yell or shout to him. But
you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like old school Overkill.
Yeah, oh yeah, before Bobby Blitz almost destroyed his vocal cords because he wasn't doing it right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Bobby Blitz is the man. That man had a stroke on stage.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he did. It was like 99 during the song Necro Shine. I remember I've read this story a few times. Yeah, fucking stroked out in the middle of it.
I mean, like, could not go on, or did he continue like it didn't bother him or some shit?
I don't think they finished. I don't remember that part. I just remember.
When you have a stroke, that's pretty serious. But I mean, some people have that shit and they don't know it. So.
Yeah. Or you could just pull a Bret Hart and get 2 of them.
Not a good thing.
No, not quite. And then the honky tonk man will make fun of you in a shoot.
Never.
Yeah,
did.
it's one of my favorite ones. He's like, "And the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever be. I can't get my dick up."
Oh.
I'm like, "Oh, honky tonk man, you are an asshole. You waddling son of a bitch." Anywho, speaking of the waddling son of a bitches, so what do we all think of this song?
Go ahead, Jess.
I mean, again, keeps the pace. It's definitely fast. It's definitely thrash. It's a song pretty much about a shitty person that's not trustworthy. That's pretty simple. The one thing I do like about these guys is about how they can take a pretty common concept, that you see throughout thrash, and make it it's a fun song to listen to. And it's even though it may be a thrash trope, it's still kick-ass. So I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Mark?
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add to that. I thought it was pretty good. I don't think it's as good as the other tracks that preceded it, but it's certainly not bad by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, honestly, I think I pretty much don't have much more to add than holy shit, that guitar solo at the beginning. That was pretty killer. That's one of those throw that on as I pull out of the parking lot songs to show how cool I am.
Roll the windows down though. Make sure you roll the windows down.
Well, I don't have AC. I've not had AC in my car for like 3 years. So.
The windows will be down. Good.
Yeah, the worst time was when the motor in the back window didn't work.
So and it had to stay up?
No, it wouldn't go up.
Oh, it wouldn't go up. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's when I went and saw Sabaton with my back window half open. Yeah, like it was just chilling, like, fucking like 70 miles from home with the window wide open and a color television and a black and white, like 12-inch TV sitting in the back seat. Because I was supposed to take it to Goodwill like a month before, and it just sat in the back of my car for another month.
Did somebody gank it at the concert or anything?
No, that was the best part.
That would have been hilarious.
Like, oh shit!
Somebody took off with a black and white TV.
Somebody ran off with the antique boys.
Fucking Sabaton fans, I tell you, no respect.
There's all those kids at the night with the Nightwish and their hot moms.
Oh man.
I was like, oh wow, there's some really attractive. I was like, oh wow, these girls are attractive. Oh wow, they're 16. Oh, there's their mom.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, something for everybody.
Well, if the internet is believed, there's a lot of MILFs out there that want to get their bang on.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. That's why they go to Buck Cherry concerts.
I love the cocaine. Mama, can you wait?
Like, seriously, that band is, like, absolutely, like, devoid of anything that's all that entertaining, except for the fact that, like, somebody's fucking 40-year-old mom who's, like, the kid finally just got a job or something, is out there drinking with her white trash husband, being like, yeah, I'm a crazy bitch.
Oh, yeah, you said it now. I love Buck Cherry. Let's see if they've got a new album coming out anytime soon.
Oh, no.
Oh, Jesus. I know you just hit 40, Mark, but I didn't know you were that far gone.
Oh, Buck Cherry, we love you. Where have you gone?
Please, no. They are going to be. They're going to be coming to North Carolina. Fuck them. I can't get Amon Amarth and Megadeth, but I can get fucking Buck Cherry.
Buck Cherry released an album in 2015 called Rock and Roll.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking creative.
Here's the names of the songs. Bring It On Back, Tight Pants, Wish to Carry On, The Feeling Never Dies, Cradle, The Madness, Wood, Rain's Falling, Sex Appeal, and Get With It. Yeah, buddy.
There is some bands. I was just going to say, there are some bands that get overplayed on the radio and here in my area, and that's fucking one of them right there. Jeez.
The Japanese edition bonus tracks are covers. One is I've Done Everything for You by Sammy Hagar. The other one is Mamakin by Aerosmith.
All right.
They get played a lot. And the number one band that gets overplayed in my area is the fucking Offspring. Jesus Christ.
Which one is it? Is it always the same one you fucking hear over and over? It isn't.
No,
they actually have a selection.
5 different songs. Yeah, it's an iHeart radio station, so they play they play Metallica deep cuts. Well, deep cuts. They'll play.
They play
deep
stuff
cuts.
Off of
fucking deep cuts. Well, not quite totally, but I heard I Disappear one night. That was entertaining.
That's all right.
They'll play that. They play the Four Horsemen, Seek and Destroy sometimes, but no, they'll play like the Offspring, and they love their '90s grunge. Jesus, just That's why Throssenblatt's been spinning in the car. Well, Toxic Holocaust just got put in, but I think when I go back to work tomorrow, Throssenblatt's going back in the player.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, I've had 3 days without it.
What we got here from Buckcherry.
God damn it.
Just when you thought it was safe.
Well, technically, there's a 2016 release of Rock and Roll, the deluxe version. From Buckcherry.
The deluxe version. Woo!
That's got The Feeling Never Dies, which is with Gretchen Wilson.
Oh, God damn it.
That's a fucking country singer, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a fucking country singer.
That's what I thought.
Next week on the Metal Hammer of Doom, Buckcherry.
Oh. Hosted by the one and only Mark Radulich and no one else.
No, I'll show up on there and I'll just be incredibly grumpy and hateful the entire time. Just totally shitting on every fucking bleach-streaked soccer mom that ever fucking walked this earth.
What if I just added to the shared playlist?
Is the point to get listens? That's the question here.
This is even better, and we might have to do this one in November. This quite now a few we may have to do in November. This one was 2014. It's called Fuck. Just Fuck. Okay.
What?
6 songs. It's called Fuck.
Okay.
Track 1, Somebody Fucked With Me. Track 2, Say Fuck It. Track 3.
Who is this?
That's Buckcherry.
Buckcherry.
More like Fuck Cherry.
Made a album called Fuck. All right, and clearly the gimmick is going to be every fucking song has the word fuck in it.
Track 3 is The Motherfucker.
Oh, God damn it.
Track 4 is I Don't Give a Fuck.
Oh, jeez.
God, this entire album is like anagrammed on some stupid fucking asshole's t-shirt.
Track 5, It's a Fucking Disaster. And track 6.
I agree.
And track 6, Fist Fuck.
You know, if I say fuck 2 more times, that's 46 fucks in this fucked up rhyme.
All right, this automatically goes on my playlist.
Oh, jeez. Well, at least let us know what it sounds like so we don't have to listen to it. Okay.
Oh, no. We may have to talk about this on the show.
Jeez, criminy, no way.
I think they covered Highway Star back in 2009. I'm looking. Dude, you're letting the whole podcast get out of control here because I'm now stuck on.
Coop, it's your fucking fault, man. What are you doing, Coop? Gee.
I'm sorry. I'm just letting the inmate run the asylum. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on from goddamn Buckcherry. Jesus fucking Christ! And you know what? And you know what? Track 6, the title exactly says my thoughts on a Buckcherry review. It can't be this.
The
Buckcherry.
No.
Oh, God. Jesus fuck.
so Buckcherry has a album full of covers. The Covers Volume 1. Not on Spotify, unfortunately.
What a creative fucking name.
It's rock and roll. It's rock and roll.
However, you guys should know that they do have a Christmas single called Christmas is Here.
Jeez.
I think I should go find their Christmas is Here, and we should listen to it now.
Wow, this is precisely like what I pointed out at the beginning of this podcast, where you took Robert Winfrey to the limit, and now you continue with the Buckcherry just to try and get Robert Cooper. He's got a thing about trying to kill people on podcasts. I'm telling you, that's his thing.
Well,
Unbelievable.
don't you worry, I can handle anything. So bring your Buckcherry. I just hope you don't mind me ripping it to shreds.
I don't think you'll have a problem with
Where do you think the number one place in the world listens to Buckcherry?
You know what I found funny is that I've been checking those out in the last two albums that we did, Mexico City. So I'm just going to go with Mexico City.
Wrong.
Oh, really? I'm surprised.
Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. Oh, we're actually in the United States. And what do you think of that, Robert Cooper? I mean, Houston, Texas.
That sounds exactly like something some fucknut from Texas will be listening to.
Well, the second one is some fucknut from Chicago.
There we go.
Third, we're back in Texas again, Dallas, Texas. The fourth is Los Angeles. The fifth most listened to the place they listen to it the most, London, England.
Well, I always said that European pop music is worse than anything we can put out. So
apparently, in London, they love the cocaine. They love the cocaine, mama.
They're just laughing at us Americans. I swear. That's all they're doing.
Can we just talk about more Buckcherry?
Oh, Coop, take control of this shit. Jeez. And Coop remains silent. Don't tell me we dropped him again.
There he goes.
Oh, motherfucker.
Blog Talk Radio clearly wants me to talk about more.
No, Blog Talk, you're wrong. You're so wrong.
That's all right.
Okay, hold on. Let me go back to the song. I at least want to try and bring it back on track.
All right.
Okay, because I do want to say some stuff about It Can't Be This. If you look at the lyrics, I know I sent you guys a message earlier that reading the lyrics along with listening to the song, even though I pay attention to the lyrics a lot, it can really bring home a song, in my opinion, and to me. It makes it mean a little bit more and kind of pushes it over that edge where I'm on the fence. Now, It Can't Be This really didn't strike me as, although it was fun to listen to, it didn't strike me as one of the better songs in this album until I really read the lyrics along with this. And this is probably one of the most positive, like anti-depression / suicide songs that I've heard in a while. And we've had some positive stuff here on the Metal Hammer of Doom, especially recently. And this song is about focusing on goals, getting your shit together, and attaining what you can if you're not where you want to be, and take control and just change that shit. You know, it can't be this. It can't be where you're at. If you're not happy where you're at, make a change. Just don't stop there. I think that's one of the points he's trying to drive home here, and it really made this song, in my opinion, one of my favorites off of this album.
Well, you know, that's actually really, really poignant right now. I'm going through some personal stuff. It's nobody's business. I'll just leave it at personal stuff. But I was just talking to my wife. I said, you know, I'm not one to sort of wallow in my own depression. It'll last for a little while because I don't realize I'm necessarily in one, and then things will just sort of come to a tipping point with me where I'll realize, wow, I've been really depressed lately. And I'll start to look back at what's causing it and, where are the good things coming from, where are the bad things coming from. And, and I know, me, as the song says, will make a change. I'll start making changes to the people in my life or the things in my life that have recently caused me to get so upset. These things that I don't have any control over. Because sometimes that's all it comes down to. It's the old Serenity Prayer. It's, change is the, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change the things that I can, and have the wisdom to know the difference. And, and if you cut all of these outside factors that are causing you pain that you can eliminate from your life, well, then, sometimes you just need to cut bait. Cut bait and get on with it. Just get out of those relationships, get out of those situations. And I know that's what I'm in the process of doing now, making some personal changes where they need to be and cutting out some people in my life who don't need to be there anymore.
Yeah, like Buck Cherry.
No.
The source of all your pain.
I was the author of all your pain, James. Mama, can't you wait?
Fuck you, Buck Cherry. So I got fucking dropped again.
No, you don't understand, Robert Cooper. I'm replacing the people in my life who have caused me pain with more Buck Cherry.
The key to happiness? I don't think so.
That's like dropping your fucking meth problem to go fuck hookers.
No, you know what people do? Is they go on the methadone and they get addicted to the methadone. See, so if you're going to compare Buck Cherry to dropping one bad habit for an even worse habit, then it's like you dropped your heroin habit for methadone. Like give it the come back.
I was going to say you dropped your heroin habit for crabs and syphilis.
All right. Do you have anything more to say about it? Can't be. We were talking about the inspiring sort of take your life by take your life by the horns, bull by the horns, and make changes in your life. Something that resonates with me personally. I didn't want to get too far into it. It's really no one's business, but in a very general way, I said that the way Jesse was talking about it, that actually meant a lot to me. Did you want to add anything to this, host?
Well, I guess I'm not going to say not quite yet. I feel like maybe I'm not quite at the point of take the life by the horns, considering I'm still in a major I don't really like. But yeah, when you were talking about dropping people out of your life that you don't really need, I'm actually really good at just disappearing. When I got one friend who was my best friend through high school, well, for half of high school, but he's kind of a schmuck. And by kind of a schmuck, I mean he got fired from McDonald's for spitting in the sink after they told him not to.
Jeez. All right.
Yeah, dude, we have it called the Saga of John. I can spend literally 20 minutes telling stories of just that poor sad sack. Like the time I told him, don't give away the Donkey Kong Country games, John. Don't send them to the pawn shop. That's a bad idea. You're going to get fucked. And then he's like, I gave them to the pawn shop and got a Nintendo DS. I said, well, did you get the Pokemon game at least? No, I got Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones for the Game Boy Advance. And you know what Fucknuts did? Fucknuts ended up trading back that DS for like $10 because he's stupid.
The Saga of John.
Oh yeah, I mean the kid once got $20 for shoveling snow and spent 10 of it on cigarettes. He didn't have a job. There's another time he got $10 and bought a random volume of a manga and spent his last dollar on a sticker from the gum machine.
Let this guy live his life, Coop. Stop criticizing him. John's just hanging out having a good time, okay?
John refuses. He's obsessed with TNA wrestling still.
Oh, well, okay. We can't let you have a pass on that one, John.
Yeah, that and hardcore deathmatch wrestling. He's like, dude, he put a thing of thumbtacks in the guy's mouth and punched him. He had to have swallowed it. I'm like, but wait, here's Tanahashi and Okada. Watch this wrestling classic. He's like, It was okay. I just wasn't really my speed. I'm like, like he would call me to be like, hey, Robert, I got new video games. What'd you buy? I bought Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader for the PS2.
Now, I have a question.
No. Yes.
Is he a fan of Buck Cherry?
Yes, he was. And he loved Tourniquet, the Christian metal band. Like he would be like, yeah, my dad, I got a Wii for Christmas. I'm like, it's 2014, John. What in the fuck? Yeah, he was. Yeah, he actually used to also sing in my voicemail, which is not just the phone voicemail, the actual answering machine for my house. He'd be like, Domo arigato, Mr. Roberto. And then
that's classic.
And then actually what's worse, to put a Buck Cherry on this, he got a tablet last Christmas and started posting covers of him singing. Like Metalingus by Alter Bridge, Edge's theme song. Oh, my lordy. It was so tone deaf. We were, like my friends and I, horrible people that we are, threw that up on the TV.
Oh.
Oh.
Bastards.
Oh, God. It sounded like somebody put a cat in a bag and beat it with a bat.
John.
He actually tried to call me twice today, and I was like, I want to talk to you because, I still feel bad for you, and you're my buddy, but that'll encourage him to call more.
The life and times.
Life and times. So, moving along, now that I'm fucking here, and I hope that we don't go into overrun with this thing dropping me again, because that would suck. Oh, that would suck so fucking hard. And I love Mark's explanation on the overrun. Well, I can't guarantee it's an hour. It depends on how busy it is. I'm like, so you're saying that
hang on. That came directly from Blog Talk Radio. When I was setting up the show, I jumped on the health thing real quick and went into the chat. And I said, hey, I have two problems. One, I put up Ben's pretty picture of our Long Road to Ruin podcast for Thursday. Sean will be talking about the Ghostbusters movies, and I'll be there too. And the picture isn't showing. Now the picture for this podcast showed. The picture for tomorrow's podcast showed, but for some odd reason his wasn't showing. And I was like, could you tell me why? Oh, and by the way, could you tell me how long the overruns are now? Because it's just throwing a dart at a dartboard. We have no idea. And they were like, right. Like, oh, okay. Terrific.
We will get back to you within 7 business days, Mr. Radulich. Thank you for calling Blog Talk Radio customer support.
All right, so you got 25 minutes here, Mr. Host. Hit it.
Okay, Mark Radulich. Now we are going to be moving on to track number 8. It is titled Breakaway.
No, we're not, because we haven't played track 7 yet.
Oh, I thought you played 7 while I was gone.
No, sir. I waited for you to come back.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. Track number 7 is... God damn it.
you process. No longer part of your plan. The segregation of the true outspoken. The reconstruction of man. This lethal force ascending.
I forgot what song this was. I don't know if that came across without me yelling "God damn it" in my Indian man voice. Which is just a poop of it. Oh, did you?
Totally
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. All right, Mark, what do you think of this song?
Don't hate me too much when I say this.
Uh-huh.
In just a small way, just a little smidge, just a bit, reminded me of Hatebreed.
I could hear it. Actually, the last song, to be honest, was straight. I felt like that was hardcore right there. Like, not like hardcore, but that had hardcore influences in it. The song before this, I think so. It had that same sort of.
Go ahead.
No. Oh, no, I was actually waiting for you to talk on that one.
Oh, just
cool.
The way that it opened, the lyrics to it, just reminded me of the last two Hatebreed albums. That was it. That's all I had to say. Oh,
okay. Yeah, because honestly, this part of this song really just kind of reminded me of kind of just your traditional. I'm not going to say traditional thrash. It was a little, almost like a little bit kind of like more speed metal, to be honest. What do you think, Jesse? Oh no!
Again with this?
Did it drop, Jesse?
No, but he's doing the thing where he's talking.
What did he say?
Jesse just broke into a Buck Cherry song.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Fucking Buck Cherry. You know, between the three of us, like we did not.
Jesse's in Ohio right now going, fuck! I can hear you guys just fine. Ha, ha, ha. I'll call back in a minute.
Between the three of our connections, like, we can't hear you. I drop off, and then Jesse's talking. Jesse's like in a glass box. Like, he can hear us, but we can't hear him. And then you were, what podcast was that? Where you kept talking, and Jesse and I just kept being like, uh-huh.
Jesse would like me to read the following notes since he's doing his Alice in Chains routine where he's a man in a box buried in his shit. He hears Megadeth in that song. Megadeth. I feel some Megadeth in this one. Hymn of Revolution. Just when you think the song's over, that empowering chorus comes right back at the end to spur you on one more time. And he said he will call back in a moment.
All right, well, our window to call back is getting shorter and shorter. Much less, about as much as my chances to be an NBA basketball player.
All right. Since we are running low on time here, let's go to the next track. Yeah, track 8, Breakaway.
Yes, no relation to that Kelly Clarkson song. that thing was fucking molten fire.
Yeah, that should have released as a single. That should have led the album off. That should be the first song they play when they play live. That when Jesse renews his vows with Mindy should be the song we walk down the aisle to. That when Kira gets married, that's what she should get married to. This just everything. That when my son is announced that he's been drafted to one of the NFL football teams, he should run out to that song. It's everything.
I think, honestly, we should hang up Roar by Katy Perry for, I think it was Misha Tate's theme, put in Breakaway.
I agree. I bet if she had listened to Breakaway before she came out, Amanda Nunez wouldn't busted her shit up.
Yeah. Oh, you should have. It was funny. We were watching that fight, and I just yelled, "Oh, God damn it." My friends are like, "What?" I'm like, "Fucking Katy Perry." They're like, "So?" I'm like, "Do you know how many fucking times I song during the NFL playoffs? It's not even that good of a pump-up tune."
Let's
got
give
about
Jesse
as much
a chance to talk
ball
before.
in the castration chamber.
Let's give Jesse a chance to talk before Blog Talk puts him back in the basement.
Yes. Yeah, Breakaway, great song. Another Fuck the Man, pull together, let your voice be heard. This is one of those ones that it's just absolute motivation to, get up and do something about, where you're at. And just, tell everybody that you are who you are. Great song. I enjoyed it a lot.
You am who you is.
I am who I am, and that's all that I'll be. Popeye the Sailor Man.
Yeah. Which, by the way, the beginning 30 minutes of this podcast is during the end of the WWE draft.
Yeah,
really as I thought it would be.
My wife and I took the kids to go get ice cream, and then I didn't realize it was on until I started up the podcast and everything. So I've been sort of, when we're listening to music, like refreshing the WWE page. I don't know. I'm not into wrestling like I used to be. Like I watch it now just because it's on. And it's damn it, it's the only relationship
podcast about it
that I can't pull away from. So I just like, what else am I gonna do? So I still will listen, but I don't care as much. To be perfectly honest.
I guess the grumpy old man ran you off.
I will say this. I'm probably not going to watch SmackDown. I haven't yet, and I don't plan to start now. Damn it. But I'm glad at least Finn Balor, who I really like, made it to the Raw roster. So there's that.
Ooh, with Carl and Doc, so they can have their own version of the Bullet Club. Yes.
Right.
Because I love me some Bullet Club. I was annoyed that Raw got the women's title, the tag team titles. They're going to get the cruiserweight title. I was like, what the fuck are you giving SmackDown?
I don't know.
They don't get
Cherry has a song on the Avengers Assemble, music inspired by the motion picture soundtrack, along with Evanescence and Black Veil Brides and Papa Roach and Soundgarden.
Fuck. Oh, no, don't you put Soundgarden with them. No. Soundgarden's a good band. Evanescence is a mediocre fucking vehicle for Amy Lee's massive ego. And then you get fucking Black Veil Brides, who the only thing they really have are, they've got good guitarists. It's just the rest of them are a bunch of fuck nuggets. Good.
Well, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find the covers compilation that they put out, and I can't find it. Like it's not on Spotify, and it's not on Apple Music. It's just depressing me.
Maybe it's just not covered in any of their streaming plans.
Oh, you're gonna get it, Robert Cooper. It's gonna be All Christmases Here by Buckcherry next week.
Fuck.
Oh God, Jesus. Okay, well, you know what? If you fucking have a Best of Buckcherry podcast, just go ahead and put me in track number 9 off of The Evil Divide, The Electric Cell.
Okay, I'm looking at the lyrics here for this song, okay? Now, this is a deep song. I know you're the host, and I'm sorry I hopped in here, but I just want to say that if you really look at these lyrics, they're very deep. And I think for a thrash album, this is something that I probably have not seen really, I don't want to say topic-wise, but we've already talked about how they're all about watch out for the man and you know, the little bit of paranoia. But this feels like a tune about the not the oppression, but the fact that people are always wanting to keep up with the Joneses. But what made me laugh was that a lot of these lyrics, you know, this is almost like a song about Google advertising. Okay. This is what's bad. Or Facebook, you know how Facebook or Google or Amazon will hit you with those ads? Like all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck? How did they know I was just looking for that comic book? Because all of a sudden I got this ad that pops up on my computer. And I swear to goodness, if you really look at these lyrics, it is almost pitch perfect for that particular. Certainly, these guys aren't going out and making a metal song about advertising or how online advertising impacts people. But by golly, this fucking shit sure does fit. But anyway, Coop, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
You're good. Actually, hey, you can butt in if you got good stuff like that. Even if you got bad stuff like Buck Cherry. Fucking Buck Cherry.
Mama, can you wait? Mama, can you wait?
My goodness.
Oh, God. Fuck. Okay. Actually, thrash metal has quite a history of social and political and especially religious commentary. I mean, bands like Toxic definitely have a lot of political stuff. I mean, Megadeth make their name on making political statements in the middle of their music.
That's true.
Metallica, Ride the Lightning was an anti-capital punishment song. I mean, they have some songs as well. Slayers, well, they're mostly anti-religion, but this song was a really good one. Lyrically, it's speaking to something really deep. Musically, just another barn burner. This thing is burning so many barns, the Amish can't build them fast enough.
Waka waka.
Well, that's right. What did you think, Mock Radulich?
It was good. I don't have as much to say about that one as I did some of the ones before it, but I liked it. You know, I really liked this entire album. I'm glad that when we were going over the calendar of stuff, that you insisted that we do it, because it's been a real treat.
Thank you. I greatly enjoyed it myself. Yeah, I was really hoping this one would be good, because usually I try not to pick too many duds. Yeah. I mean,
I try not to pick shit that sucks,
Oh no. Oh no, I'm saying like we have had our share of duds. We were really excited, like Super Collider. I was like, man, Mark, it's gonna be great. We did the whole 2 weeks of 2 shows of retrospectives for it and everything. And then once we got there, we were like,
let down.
Well, that was a thing.
Can I vote that we play the last track and then we can discuss memories of Metal Hammer of Doom past?
See, I thought you were about to say fucking Buck Cherry. All right. So here comes the final track number 10 off of The Evil Divide. It is titled Let the Pieces Fall.
My face was melting.
There's been a couple of albums this year that we were really looking forward to, and when we were done, we were like, it was either too samey or not as good. Actually, this year's Baby Metal wasn't as good as the first one. It was good, but not as good as that self-titled album. I think the Hatebreed, the one that Concrete Confessional that Jesse and I covered, not as good as the Divinity of Purpose. I'd have to go back in the archives and look and see what else we've done. But we've had quite a few that did not live up to the hype.
That happens. We pretty much become a weekly review show. I guess you don't always win all of them. I mean, hey, we got some real good ones. Like hey,
you can't put them all, huh?
Yeah, you can't always get what you want. I mean, hey, Megadeth was. Oh God, that's like getting a cancer diagnosis on your birthday. Yeah, I mean, hey, Megadeth was fucking awesome. Throsson Blot was great. Anthrax was really good. I mean, we've had some good ones. And then we got Rob Zombie.
Everybody's fucking in a UFO.
You know what? That song still creeps its way into my brain every once in a while. And
man.
I'm like, that might be the one. That might be like the one saving grace of that album. Is like, yes, it's a Primus ripoff, but gosh darn it, they tried their hearts out with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was fun.
Not great.
And then, of course, the one that Mark was really excited for, that was really, really bad. What the fuck? Surgical Meth Machine.
Yeah. Uncle Al disappointing me once again. But Grand Magus was good. We came back strong with Grand Magus. I'm just kind of going back through some of our old shows that we posted on the Radulich broadcast.
It's really good.
Amon Amar. Yes. Very good.
You wouldn't know it from that podcast. That was Love Line with Mr. Radulich and Mr. Stacha.
Was that where we were giving you all sorts of shit? Oh boy,
yeah, that was the one where I was telling stories about that girl that ended up pretty much stabbing me. So yeah, well then she went and stabbed another guy. So hey,
Vector Terminal Redux wasn't bad. I don't think I had a lot to say about it.
No, I don't. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was fucking amazing.
Rob Zombie was terrible. Surgical Meth Machine was terrible.
It was unlistenable.
That's right. Our Fritz tribute show was great.
I enjoyed it.
Let's see here. As I go back through. All right, Baby Metal. We talked about that already. Oh boy, lots of shows this year. We talked about Amon Amarth. That was pretty good. Poor Batman v Superman.
Killswitch Engage was good.
Yep.
Destroyer 666 Wildfire. That wasn't bad.
That was a pretty rip-roaring album. They're there.
Let's see.
What I plan on doing here is actually going back through the archives, and I'll do something similar to what I did last year, where I set up a Spotify playlist of all the albums we covered. That's something I've been wanting to do here recently. Whatever's available out there, so that way, if anybody's interested that listens, I'll make it a public playlist. They can get in there and I'll share it.
Hey, remember our covers 3 Army versus Navy? That was fun. where I kept falling off the show.
The quote, if I remember correctly, was, "Well, this is the Metal Hammer of Doom," and then it was promptly followed up with, "For fuck's sake."
Yeah, not a good night. Avantasia was not too bad. Ghost Lights.
I look forward. We got Sabaton coming up here pretty soon, right?
Yeah, talked about that earlier in the show.
Yeah, well, I think I was here for that. No, I look forward to hearing. I heard the second single from them, by the way, and it sounds pretty good. So I look forward to actually hearing that full album. And you guys ought to try and get Winfrey back on here if he's interested. I'd like to hear him come back on the Metal Hammer of Doom. It's very rare that he makes an appearance.
We'll see. Yep, and then we started off our year with Megadeth Dystopia, which I don't remember. Did we like Dystopia or didn't we?
I loved it.
What was my thoughts? Anyone remember?
I do not. Is Coop still here? Cooper is.
I'm here.
We lost him.
Okay.
Hey, welcome back. Do you remember the new Megadeth?
I thought you liked it. I thought you kind of agreed it was a really good return to form. It was one of my favorites of the year. It was like Poison of Shadows. Fucking hell. That one was awesome. Yeah, my phone died. It's gotten to the point to where when it goes to red battery, it's just like, oh, you're fucked.
And dude, you made it just before cutoff too, because it's 11:29.
I noticed. I was like, ooh. Whew.
All right, so let's give our quick summations of this album here, and then let's get into plugs and sign off for the night.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, host Radulich. Jesse, go ahead and start us off with final thoughts.
Absolutely. First off, ratings for myself, thumbs up. This is another one of the top albums I think I've heard this year. Really enjoyed it. Coop, I'm glad you suggested it. I don't think there's really a horrible song on this album, which that to me makes a great album. If you can't find something that drones on or that you do not like, then that makes a good album if you can't find that. And I don't think any one of these songs really do that. Lost is slow, but it's not, it's not put yourself to sleep, oh, holy shit, this is out of character from the rest of the album slow. It fits right in. So a lot of great thrash, a lot of great messages in this particular album. I love the empowering lyrics. I love the, fuck the man lyrics, as I've said throughout this podcast. And, specifically, It Can't Be This went from a song I was on the fence about to something that went to a tremendous, tremendous song, in my opinion, just based on the lyrics. So I would tell anybody, obviously, you got a taste of the album here. If you get a chance to listen to the full thing, do so. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on Spotify. I'm sure you can find it somewhere else. Maybe you could go out and buy a physical copy like the Robert Cooper here. I'm sure we'll probably do at some point. So I give it a thumbs way up. I'm glad I had the chance to get on here and talk about it with you guys.
Excellent. Oh, we got breaking news.
This fucking Buck Cherry news, I swear.
Easy, sir. We're all friends here. New Marilyn Manson album gets title and release date. Let's see here. February 14th. What's that? Right on the calendar. It's called Say 10. Get it? Say 10.
Oh, hey. Jeez.
Good stuff. Marilyn Manson. Be prepared to cover that next year. It's going right on the calendar.
That is one artist that I've never given the time of day.
His last one, I had to listen to a song. What was his last one? It was the one before. I think it was Pale Emperor. I had to listen to it for a 4-1 once, and I was really impressed because Marilyn Manson never really done much for me beyond like The Beautiful People being really fucking catchy.
And the theme to SmackDown.
Beautiful people, yeah. Beautiful people, banana.
God, we've been doing this too long. Do.
Hey, do you
Mark,
think...
what's your thoughts? Do.
Phenomena. Do you think... I'm fucking delirious. Do you think we can do an album that comes out the same day, do the show that night, or should we do it the following week?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. That's really not giving much time for listening.
All right, so we'll do it the following week.
You're talking about like on a Friday?
No, it comes out on a Tuesday. It comes out on Valentine's Day.
Huh. Interesting.
And I know this is 2017 and all, but why can't we make plans now? Moving right along. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give this album a 9 out of 10. It's near perfect. It's really good. It's one of the best albums we've covered this year. It was a lot of fun. I know I went off track talking about like Buck Cherry and all that, but that's kind of the shtick of the show. How many more ways can I say it's good? It's good. So it's definitely this will definitely stay in the playlist for me to listen to when I'm in that kind of a mood. 9 out of 10 for Death Angel. If we're doing plugs at the same time, just real quick. Yes, tomorrow we're reviewing Ghostbusters 2016. I liked it. Robert Winfrey hated it. Hopefully we won't kill each other on the show. Thursday, Long Road to Ruin. We'll discuss the first 2 Ghostbusters movies and the Ghostbusters game. It should be a fun show. Dunsmuir comes out Friday, as does that's the newest Neil Fallon side project, as does Star Trek Beyond. So next week, there's no show on Tuesday because I'll be at Gwen Stefani, but we will be reviewing Star Trek Beyond, and then then our show will be Thursday, July 28th. Witherscape, Metal Hammer of Doom, The Northern Sanctuary. My question, Robert, are you going to be on that show, or are you going to be working?
I think I'm off Thursday.
You think you're off Thursday? Fantastic. If that changes, let me know. Because that was one of the ones that you picked. It also comes out, I think, this week. So this one's actually, we're back to being on time again. Next couple of shows after that. We'll be reviewing the new Dunsmuir on August 2nd, Tarja, The Shadow Self on August 9th, Jackal with a Y, August 16th.
They were at the West Virginia Interstate Fair, just by the way. I didn't have a chance to tag you in that, but someone posted, I think it was last week, they were actually at over here in Parkersburg. Jackal with a Y. I almost got on there and commented that, too, and she would have had no fucking clue what I was saying, probably.
Awesome. August 23rd, Sabaton, The Last Stand. August 30th, Running Wild, Rapid Foray. Hooray. September 6th, the Devin Townsend Project, Transcendence. September 13th, KMFDM, Rocks, Milestones, Reloaded 2016. We're going to do that instead of, trying to do a retrospective. That, to me, made more sense. September 20th, Brujeria, Pacho Aslan. September 27th, Every Time I Die, Low Teens. And then we're taking a break the first week of October because I will be at Clutch. So that's the next 2 months of shows. That's all I got.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me go ahead and I'll plug real quick here my Twitter at Stiznarkey. You can listen to my show. I run a show on the Radulich and Broadcasting Network called Source Material, where we dive into comic book story arcs, and we talk about them. We spoil the shit out of them. So if you're interested in going back and listen to a few guys talk about some great stuff that's happened in comics, both of these guys have been guests on my show. We have a lot of fun. Coming up on Friday at a special time, Source Material will be airing here on the Radulich and Broadcasting Network. We had an episode recorded Sunday at like 11. We started at 11:30 p.m. Sunday night. Finished up 1 o'clock. My guest was Dean Compton of the UnspokenDecade.com, a great website where you can go to just kind of catch up and see, get taken back to the 90s era of comic. And he is a champion of that era. So Dean came on and we talked DC versus Marvel. I plan on having that edited and up on the Radulich and Broadcasting Network come Friday evening. So I hope you guys have the opportunity to listen. We had a great time. Dean Compton's an awesome guest. I mean, just a fantastic speaker. So if you guys get a chance, check it out. As for myself, I actually will have a personal appearance a source material personal appearance at the River City Comic Con, the RC3, this coming Sunday. I will be wearing pants, however, but I will be representing the Radulich and Broadcasting Network, and I'll be talking at a panel at 3 o'clock. It's so you want to be a podcaster, and if you want to check out some of our earlier thoughts last week about some of the podcasting fun we'll be talking about, you can go and check that out in the archives on the previous Metal Hammer of Doom. But that's going to be a lot of fun. And don't forget, folks, to go give the Radulich and Broadcasting Network Facebook page a like. You can stay up on. We don't bombard you with all sorts of stupid shit. We tell you like when the next podcast is coming up, and that's it. We serve one purpose, and that is to get the news to you as to when you can expect the next podcast when we promote it. So if you want to give that Radulich and Broadcasting Network Facebook page a like, go ahead and do so, and you can stay on top of all the great Radulich and Broadcasting Network podcasts that are out there. And there's a great variety of them. That's it for me, my man Coop.
All right. Just give a final thought on this album. I give it about 4.5 to 5. Pretty good album. Really dug it. Almost perfect. Just good stuff. Awesome. Great. I'm definitely going to go seek this one out. Got to add this to the to-do list for 2016 along with Anthrax and Megadeth. Oops. As for plugs, the W2M Network on Spreaker.com, Wrestling to the Max. My buddy Sean Garmer and his co-hosts and friends and all that stuff. They got sports, wrestling, video games, and even more sports and wrestling. Lots of sports and wrestling. He actually asked me about what would be the best idea for a URL, so I informed him. I gave him my opinion. Love that guy. Listen to his stuff. He's awesome. Yeah. Love you, Sean. Anywho, there's that. There's this podcast. There's the Sentai Rider podcast. That is SENTARIDER podcast. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Sentai Rider podcast. We're going to do something one day. These weeks are really melding together. Like, it's bad.
Oh,
like,
man.
you know, it's like, yeah, I work 5 nights a week, and then my 2 nights off, I'm like, yeah, and it's funny. We're almost at 500 likes. We're like right at the door now. The South Americans keep finding my page and liking it. I seriously think that has to be it. Like, I don't know how we keep getting all that good cred. Like, all these, like, we get like 10 likes in a week sometimes. And I'm like, how? We haven't released anything in a year and a half. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Oh God. And I just looked at the WWE draft roster. SmackDown got fucked.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I was like, wow. I mean, they got Ambrose and Styles, but then, like, they kept all the feuds the same. Like, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, same plays. Randy Orton and John Cena are in the same plays. Oh, boy. Can't fucking wait to watch.
Was Orton back? I didn't know Orton was back. I thought he was like...
Yeah, he's going to be facing Brocky Poo at SummerSlam.
Okay. See, that's how out of the loop I am. You think you haven't watched wrestling in a while, Mark Radulich? Jeez.
Yeah, dude. There's so much wrestling to watch this week. I got night 1, 2, 3, and 4 of G1 Climax to watch this week, which is New Japan's like World Cup tournament of the year. Night 1 apparently was amazing. I've got the Cruiserweight Classic night 2. The Super J Cup is coming back, so I got to watch that. Then we had SmackDown and Raw. I don't
Too much wrestling.
Too much wrestling, which is never a bad thing. And I don't even watch Lucha Underground. I'm trying to catch up on that because that's coming out this week too. Sweet zombie Jesus. All right. So, yeah, that's it. That's all, folks. We officially hit the overrun. God help God save our souls.
Well, with that, I want to thank these guys for being on the show again. Thank all of you for listening, putting up with us. This special thanks to Cooper for hosting tonight, sort of. So we'll be back next week with Witherscape. Until then, be well, be safe, and behave.
Not flossing well? Then add the whoa of Listerine to your routine. New science shows it gets in between teeth to destroy 5 times more plaque above the gum line than floss for a cleaner, healthier mouth. Listerine's invigorating rush, zapping millions of germs in seconds for that one-of-a-kind whoa.
For every ouch, oops, and uh-oh, there's a Band-Aid brand product that's best. Get great, dependable, everyday protection to help minor cuts and scrapes. The ultimate protection. From bandages to blister cushion. Your life is unique. So are our bandages. Band-Aid brand adhesive bandages.